Hey guys, Team OkiMokisB here. I saw MCol40's what not to do at a regional video, and I was thinking, I was like, why didn't I do one of these when I got back from regionals? I actually made a lot of mistakes, which actually caused me to get my 90th or whatever place I got out of 190 something people. So we'll get right down to it, so you guys don't make the same mistakes that I do. Now, I play at a local tournament about once a week, and I'm pretty familiar with what goes on there, as far as how that works. When I went to my regional, it was like last month, near the end of last month. The one in Nashville, Tennessee. That regional. It was my first regional. A lot of people that went their first regional too, because there hasn't been one in Tennessee in forever, as far as I know. And hopefully I can tell you guys so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. I'd say the biggest mistake that I made was, and it cost me a round loss, was even though they should, it's good, put something out there so you guys can actually look at something. Even though they should, they don't give you a break for food. And so I hurried up and finished my round, and I figured, okay, I'll go get some food, because it was getting to be like, it was like 2 or 3. It was like time to eat for me, really, because I didn't eat at all, and I got up at 4. So I needed to eat. I was really, like, my stomach was really hurting. And so I went to the food court, ate with my dad, because my dad went, he drove me there, but he didn't really have anybody to be with, so he just kind of drove around the area alone. And when he called me and was like, hey, let's get something to eat, I was like, I'm not going to be like, no, I'm in a tournament. Yeah, I'll hang out with you. I mean, you're pretty bored, obviously. And you got to sit around, walk around the mall for hours until I get done playing cards. So I went over there and ate with him. Before I left, though, I told my friend Timmy, or I guess my friend, whatever, Timmy, to call me when the round started. I was going to tell my friend Mark, who's obviously more reliable than Timmy, but he was in the middle of a match, and he ended up actually getting 8th place, top 8, so that's good for him. But so I was going to tell him he was in a match. I knew he'd forget. I told Timmy. Timmy was already done with this match. He won. He was just sitting there watching Mark. I get to eat. I still don't get a call. It's been like an hour. So I head back, and I'm doing a little bit of trading with the dude outside the tournament. I tell my friend Albert, hey, go in there and check it out, see when the round starts, because it still hasn't started yet, obviously, because Timmy didn't call me. He comes running back, just as I'm about to finish the trade, actually, and informs me that the round has actually already started. It's been going for about 20-30 minutes, and the judge he talked to said that if we could finish our match, if we could, finish the 3 games within the 20 minutes that was remaining, that we could, go for it. But if the match wasn't finished by that time, we would get a loss, because obviously it was our fault. So I went in, I sat down with my player, I told him it was me that, I was like, hey, I play you, found out who I was playing, get over there. He immediately called the judge and was like, hey, my guy's here, he gets a round loss. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, if you're more than 15 minutes late, or 10 minutes, I forget whether it's 10 or 15, you have a round loss. If you're more than 5 minutes, 3 to 5, I think, you have game loss. So that's pretty lame. So definitely be on time. If you're going to ask somebody to watch, call you when a round starts, get somebody reliable, unlike Timmy. Let's see. Another thing, when you write your deck down, your deck list down, since they don't let you type it out anymore, not at regionals at least anyway. At nationals they do, because obviously you've proved yourself to be good enough. But at a regionals, it's just there's too many people entering and whatnot, so you can't type up your deck list, which is what I was planning on doing. But I wrote it up. First thing about that, keep track with it. I actually lost mine while doing a trade and had to rewrite the whole thing within 5 minutes, so that's lame. So definitely keep up with the list after you write it, and then give your deck to a friend if it's in order, and have them go through it and make sure that it's all written out right. I actually got a game loss because I forgot to write. I was running Yados then, and I forgot to write that I was running 2 Soul Exchange and a Mirror Force in the deck for some reason. I don't know why I didn't write. Those are all important things, but yeah. And it actually didn't catch me till like round 4, which is weird. That was like 8 rounds, so that's kind of weird. But yeah, you'll get a game loss for that. I'm trying to think of what else. Bring a mat. I know a lot of people can't afford a mat or whatever, but if you use a mat, people expect you to be a better player and play differently according to how they think you play. Like for me, when I was playing against a guy, and I played Chaos Sorcerer, and he had to actually pick it up and read it, and he was like, oh, I didn't know this card came out. As soon as he said that, which he didn't have a mat. He wasn't even using sleeves, but I wasn't going to call him on that. I'm a pretty cool guy. So, yeah, so when I realized that he didn't even know what Chaos Sorcerer was, I pretty much assumed it was going to be an easier round, and it really was, but still. The biggest thing, though, I'd say, besides making sure you rely on people who are reliable, is just pay attention. Don't trade while you're in the middle of a match. The matches are obviously more important, unless you were doing as bad as I was when I was trading anyway. You're going to lose matches because of it, and not because, they're going to be like, oh, you're trading when instead of playing with me. It's going to be, you're going to miss timing on a lot of stuff. Normally, you would think if you're trading with somebody, the other person will stop playing and wait for you to finish trading and wait till you're paying attention again. They won't. That's what I would do. I mean, if I was playing somebody and they decided to trade, I wouldn't just keep playing as if they weren't there. But, yeah, they won't give you time to respond, and if you try to call a judge, the judge will tell you should have been trading and paying attention. So, like, for example, I was playing Yadas. I had 4 back rows and a D-Fisher out. My back rows were D-Prison, Mirror Force, Macros Cosmos, and a Dark Bribe. He activates a face-down Royal Decree while I'm trading, mind you. So I knew he had a face-down. When I look back, he's got a Royal Decree face-up. So I say, you didn't give me time to respond. He says, okay, go ahead and respond, then I'll let you. I was like, okay, this dude's pretty nice. So I try to activate Dark Bribe. He says you can't do that because Royal Decree's already up. Royal Decree. He says after he activated Royal Decree, he summoned a monster, which I had seen, but wasn't really paying that much attention to. Therefore, he says I missed the timing, which he obviously only did because I was going to stop his Royal Decree. If it was like a face down, like one of those trap monsters or whatever, I don't think he would have cared. But because it's going to stop his Royal Decree, and it was game 3, he actually cared, and I ended up arguing with him about it. I ended up having to call a judge, and the judge said because I was trading instead of paying attention that it's allowed and I can't respond to it. I missed response timing. So definitely don't trade, pay attention. Trying to think of some other stuff. Don't be a nice guy. I know you have to like change your personality and whatnot, and a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to be myself or whatever. Really, you can't really be a nice guy to regionals. Everybody, they're out to beat you. Everybody is. You got to keep that mindset in. Is that everybody? They're not going to be happy to see you win. If you beat them, they're going to be angry whether they show it or not. And so, yeah, be treated as such. Me and my friend Albert, we were too nice. We both agreed we were too nice during there. My friend Albert let somebody bottomless his Vayu. And like the guy didn't know what he was doing, obviously, so he let the guy, do it. He was like, okay, it's cool, whatever, and he let him go ahead and do it just for the sake of, he thought he was winning. After that, he bottomless the Vayu. He passed turn. His opponent special summons 2 Judgment Dragons and attacks directly, or as far as that's what he told me. He was playing Lightsworn against that game, I'm pretty sure, but whatever. I might be confusing that with Timmy. But anyways, so yeah, don't be nice. I mean, you can be nice, I guess, to a certain extent, but if you're too nice, people will take advantage of it and try to do stupid plays. Another thing is, and this is going to sound bad, I guess, but if you can get away with it, do it. I had so many people when I was playing. Now, I normally don't employ this technique, but a lot of people do, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. A lot of people, I don't know how many times today I had set a face down, which happened to be, like a Barbaros or whatever that they book a Moond, or I book a Moond or whatever. They remove for Chaos Sorcerer, summon Chaos Sorcerer, and try to remove my face down monster. They know they can't do that. Unless they built that deck today or just read Chaos Sorcerer today, everyone knows Chaos Sorcerer just removes face up, but everyone tried to do it. Also, learn a lot of rulings before you start arguing with people with them. I don't know how many times, like, I was watching Mark during the regional, because Mark was playing Light Swords at the time. So, I don't know how many times I was watching Mark play, and Mark's opponent had to get rulings on Light Imprisoning Mirror so many times, because they thought Light Imprisoning Mirror stopped Honest, Light Imprisoning Mirror stops the special summon of Judgment Dragon. No. So, learn rulings of popular cards, or maybe he was just employing the last technique, trying to do something he knew he couldn't, and hope Mark didn't know. But yeah, also respect your player. I'm just about out of time. But yeah, that's the things that I have learned from experience not to do at regional. This is from a noob's point of view, because I still consider myself a noob. But thanks, guys. Peace, and subscribe to Team Moki Moki.